Fishers, happy days. Hope this little bit of rain that's coming the next day or so doesn't, change things too much, because the fishing has been very special in some areas at the moment. We have mentioned it before. Dartmouth last week was a little bit quiet. This week just gone, start to fire up again. Lead line, forward fenders with a worm behind seems to be the way to go down there at the moment, and that's interchangeable because the dams, as you know, are all up and down at the moment because of the releases and not releases and the amount of rain and flow coming into them. So we'll have a fair few changes over the next couple of weeks, but it's not too bad. The Hume Weir, getting a couple of reports from there. The odd few good trout getting caught, not as good as we'd hoped this season, but they're good fish. 60 centimetre plus seems to be pretty common at the moment, but the yellow belly and the reddies are still moving with bait, still getting quite a few of those, so we're happy with that. Hopefully that'll pick up as the weather warms up. Murrumbidgee River running through Wagga, yes, at last it's starting to kick in. The last couple of weeks it's starting to show signs of getting some good fish on bait. This week just gone, quite a few good fish out of the river with bait. Yabbies, worms, grubs, doesn't seem to matter a great deal. Been a couple over a metre caught of a night time on bait. Blokes who are fishing all night, tying up to a snag, dropping a bait over the side, getting some great results. Just keep that one in mind. Next best report, Blowering, firing up big time. Plenty of good fish coming out of there. Not for everybody, mind you. The blokes who know Blowering are catching a lot of good cod. Just have a look at the Facebook site. Some of the photos have been posted. They are fantastic. The best success has been on surface lures, few on soft plastics, few on big trolling spinner baits. It's really starting to fire up again. So in about 20-25 feet of water, looking very promising at the moment. Yucca bean, Jindabyne, Tentangra, all running pretty hot at the moment. Very happy with that. Getting some respectable reports out of Burrinjuck. The Yass boys tell me that you're getting some good fish up around Tamus Bridge, Good Hope, in that area, fishing off the bank with bait, small yabbies and worms, looking very promising up there. Anybody wanting to fish the main basin, it's reasonably clean there compared to the arms, but still off the bank with bait seems to be more consistent. But we're starting to get some reports, a few on the troll, up in the shallows, 1.5 metre to 2 metres water max. Bibless crankbaits seem to cover it. Doesn't have to be a jackal, but it's working quite nicely. Kokodas and any of the Yakamitos in particular, some really good colours in those are starting to fire up. I'd even try some Mars Vibes. They seem to work quite nicely at this time of year, so that looks pretty good at Burrinjuck. Most of the reports I'm getting from Wagga are off the bank with bait. Lots of yellow belly starting to fire up there. And we've got the Grab Iron Comp next weekend. I think it is. Don't quote me on that. I forgot the dates, but it's coming up very soon. So as you can see, we've got a fair bit of activity around us. Talking to Bondi at Compleat Angler down at Narooma, and he tells me the offshore scene down there is pretty ordinary at the moment. Sort of green water coming in, not the right type of water for big fish, but he seems to think the marlin should start up very shortly. The estuaries aren't too bad. They're not foreign, but they're not too bad. And fishing off the beach, plenty of tail and salmon around, and off the rocks, you should do all right. Make sure you wear a life jacket if you're fishing off the rocks. Compleat Angler's Fishing Report for this week. We'll catch you again next week.